Alrighty, there we go. Now we're good. Alright, hey everybody, thanks for joining us. We're a little bit of technical difficulties there. I apologize, but we're doing it. It's Monday night. We have Mr. Faust on the line for Talking D&D and Phasmophobia. Hey, Mr. Faust, how you doing?
Doing great, Blast. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing very well. Always great when I get to talk to you on our Monday nights here. So,
Couldn't agree more.
We are talking about Druid Spells. This is one that I have been very much looking forward to because I absolutely love my Druids, and you know that.
Oh, yeah.
So, Druids, we love Druids. They have a lot of utility. They, in my opinion, are some of the best ones for controlling combat. If you are facing multiple enemies coming at you from multiple directions, you definitely want to have a Druid on your side. And with the spells they have available to them, I think you guys will understand why I say that. I'm a little worried with Arrow playing a Druid in our new campaign we're starting Friday.
I'm a little nervous about it.
So anyways, let's go ahead and I guess get into it because we have a little bit of time, but it seems... Hey, Tiger, how's it going, bud?
What's up,
Thanks
Tiger?
for joining. I know you always enjoy these as well because you play
We're
D&D.
talking Druids tonight.
Yeah, and got some great spells here. So let's go over cantrips.
Yeah, let's do that.
There's so many here that...
And they're all good.
Exactly, they all have... There's not like, oh, why'd you take that? You know, it's not like a wizard and you get True Strike. Well, what's the point of that spell? So, one I like is Create Bonfire. This is one a lot of classes get this. So, Artificer, Druid, Sorcerer, Warlock, and Wizard. It's a conjuration spell. It's a casting time of 1 action with a range of 60 feet. It's a concentration up to 1 minute. You create a bonfire on a ground that you can see within range. Until the spell ends, the bonfire fills a 5 foot cube. Any creature in the bonfire space when you cast the spell must succeed on dexterity saving throw or take 1d8 fire damage. A creature must also make a saving throw when it enters the bonfire space for the first time on a turn or it ends its turn there. And of course, the spell does level up, so at 5th level, it's 2d8, 11th level, 3d8, and 17th level, 4d8. This is a very good spell for combat.
It's also good for crowd control.
Exactly. We used it when we did, I believe it was Curse of Strahd.
Yes.
And we had the town guard outside of a door, so I just put it down in front of the door. They had to pass through the fire to get to us, to get in the building.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's a great CYA, you know, cover your ass spell. And honestly, you know, I know a lot of creatures are resistant to fire. Some of also are just absolutely immune, but there's a lot of creatures out there also that are vulnerable to fire. So it's not a bad spell. Consider it's a cantrip. It does a good amount of damage. Sure, it's a dex save, but it levels up real nice. So which one there, Mr. Faust, tickles your fancy? Mr. Faust, are you with us? Uh-oh, folks, we may have lost Mr. Faust. Hello, hello. Houston, we have a problem. Alright, well, I'm sure we'll get him back in a moment. Alright, so let's see here. Another cantrip that's good for druids. What is going on here? Let's take a quick peek. Oh,
There we go.
Alright, we got him back. Okay. Wonderful. Alright, so what for cantrip tickles your fancy?
I do have a favorite.
Oh, wonderful. What is it?
It's called Shillelagh.
Oh, I knew you were going to pick that. I knew it.
Because there are times when a druid has to get into combat.
Well, only if you're doing it wrong.
Well,
No,
okay.
I hear what you're saying. You're absolutely right.
So, the wood of a club or quarterstaff you're holding is imbued with nature's power. For the duration, you can use your spellcasting ability instead of strength for the attack and damage rolls of melee attacks using that weapon, and the weapon's damage die becomes a d8. Here's the kicker. The weapon also becomes magical.
Yeah, you're getting a magic weapon at level 1.
Yes.
You're one of the few classes out there that are actually doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Very nice spell. Very good. Let's see here. I like Infestation. That has always been a spell that I really like. You cause a cloud of mites, fleas, and other parasites to appear momentarily on one creature you can see within range. It's a 30-foot range. The target must succeed on a Constitution saving throw, where it takes 1d6 poison damage and it moves 5 feet in a random direction. If it can move and its speed is at least 5 feet, roll a d4 for the direction. 1 north, 2 south, The movement doesn't provoke opportunity attacks, and the direction rolled is blocked. The target does not move. And of course, it increases. 1d6, 2d6 at 5th, 3d6, and then 4d6. So, not a bad spell. I do like it. I like the imagery of it. You're just kind of standing there, and all of a sudden, mites and ticks and bugs and stuff just start crawling all over you, and that's enough to make anybody go, ooh. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's a really good one. And it's just creepy. Like, it's a creepy spell.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Alright. Are you here? Are you friendly? Where are you? How old are you? Where are you? Are you here? Are you friendly? How old are you?
I've always liked Frostbite for the druids.
Here? Are you friendly? Yeah, Frostbite is a very good spell. Yeah, go ahead and read the description on that one. That's
It's not a lot of damage, but it has a really nice side effect. You cause numbing frost to form on one creature that you can see within range. The target must make a Constitution saving throw.
Between the youngest
Constitution, not a very common save. On a failed save, the target takes 1d6 cold damage, and it has disadvantage on the next weapon attack roll it makes before the end of its next turn.
Oh, so it has disadvantage on its next attack.
Yes, and this is a cantrip.
I forgot about that part of it.
Mm-hmm.
I completely forgot about that part of it.
I mean, every spellcasting class gets access to this.
Huh. So yeah, that's kind of... Wow. I knew it slowed them down. I forgot about the disadvantage.
Oh yeah. That's my favorite part of this spell, because you can really support the rest of the party with that.
Alrighty. Let's see here.
There aren't too many more that we haven't already discussed.
Yeah, I mean, we have produce flame. You can produce a flickering flame that appears in your hand. The flame remains there for the duration. It's 10 minutes. And is harmless. The flame sheds a 10-foot radius, and then dim light for another 10, and you can dismiss it as an action. You can also attack with it, so you do so, you make a ranged spell attack, and they take 1d8 fire damage, and that levels up to 2, 3, and 4d8. So that was one little pooper, an arrow kind of fell in love with themselves. Mainly because they had a thing that they were throw the gnome.
That was a real thing.
It really was. They arrow played a gnome. I forget, was she a druid? I think she was
a druid.
Yeah, she was a Circle of the Moon druid. It was her first. Actually, I think it was one of the first characters she played. And yeah, she. I forget. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, so we were walking through some deep water, and yeah, we were walking through some deep water. It was over her head, so she needed somebody to carry her. So our barbarian, dragonborn barbarian, decided he was going to carry her, and we found some treasure. The barbarian wanted the treasure for himself, and we were like, no, that's not going to happen. He got mad and was like, well then fine, I'm not carrying the gnome. I throw the gnome at you. And we decided what a gnome does, like 1d6 damage. And then she
it's
had...
essentially falling damage.
Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of what happened there. It was a strength check versus strength, and that's pretty much what happened there. Then they spent the next week sitting in a closet together, coming up with different ways to throw the gnome. And one of the things they thought of was after he throws her is for her to cast that cantrip to turn herself into a flaming gnome to deal the additional 1d8 fire damage.
Exactly. It was genius.
They thought of it completely on their own. That's the crazy thing. That was the crazy thing. Alright, so. Yeah, great spell. You got Thorn Whip. You're dragging a creature towards you, doing a little bit of damage there. Guidance we kind of talked about when we talked about clerics. Yeah, the lot of great cantrips. All right, so level 1 here. I love absorb elements, and I don't know if I talked about this one, but I think I did when we talked about artificers. You half elemental damage, so thunder, lightning, fire, cold, and you can deal an additional 1d6 when you make a melee attack of whatever element type you have, I guess, deflected. So not a bad spell.
Oh.
Nice thing is it's a reaction spell. So
that is incredibly nice.
Yeah. Yeah. And because it takes up your level 1 spell slot, it's not completely overpowered.
Now, they also have a lot of spells that blend in with other classes, like Charm Person, Cure Wounds, Healing Word.
Yep. Tiger said that he likes that he can speak with animals, and that's a level 1 spell. Speak with animals.
Or friendship.
Oh yeah, or animal friendship.
You can charm an animal.
Yep. Charm Person. Create or destroy
Always
water.
a good one.
Detect poison and disease. That's a great spell depending upon your campaign.
There's a new one here that looks pretty cool.
What's that?
Wild Cunning.
Okay.
This is a utility spell. So you call out to the spirits of nature to aid you. When you cast this spell, choose one of the following effects. If there are any tracks on the ground within range, you know where they are, and you make wisdom survival checks to follow these tracks with advantage for 1 hour or until you cast the spell again.
Huh.
If there's edible forage within range, you know it and where to find it.
Oh, okay.
If there is clean drinking water within range, you know it and where to find it. If there is suitable shelter for you and your companions within range, you know it and where to find it.
Huh.
You can send the spirits to bring back wood for a fire and to set up a campsite in the area using your supplies. The spirits build the fire in a circle of stones, put up tents, unroll bedrolls, and put out any rations and water for consumption.
Interesting.
Or, conversely, you can have the spirits instantly break down a campsite, which includes putting out a fire, taking down tents, packing up bags, and burying any rubbish so they leave no trace.
Okay. I could definitely
I thought it was
see that being handy.
pretty cool situationally.
Yeah, no, totally.
Because if it's a wilderness campaign, this is one of those spells that's going to keep you set for a little while.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. You have Ice Knife as a great spell.
Ice Knife is a cool one. Yeah, I was going to talk about that one next.
Yeah, go ahead.
Alright, so we got Ice Knife. It's a 60-foot range. You create a shard of ice and fling it at one creature within range. Make a ranged spell attack against the target. On a hit, the target takes 1d10 piercing damage. Hit or miss, the shard then explodes. The target and each creature within 5 feet of the point where the ice was exploded must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or take 2d6 cold damage. So
Yeah.
what you're really throwing is an ice bomb.
Right. Yeah, I like that spell. I've used it in the past as well.
Yeah, it's a pretty good one. And that's also in Xanathar's guide.
Yes. Yeah, Xanthar's, they didn't give him a lot of spells, but the ones they did give him are pretty stinking good. Alright, so we also have Fairy Fire. I don't know if we talked about this one in the past. I think we have. I think this is another
We
one
have
that...
talked about that one.
Yeah, okay. Destroy water in it, we talked about. Cure wounds, detect magic. Entangle. This is a spell I really like. So it's a 90-foot range. It's an action. What's that?
I said crowd control.
Crowd control, yes. Grasping weeds and vines sprout from the ground in a 20-foot square, starting from the point within range. For the duration, these plants turn the ground area into difficult terrain. A creature in the area when you cast the spell must succeed on a strength saving throw or be restrained by the entangling plants until the spell ends. A creature restrained by the plants can use its action to make a strength check against your spell DC. On your spell DC, on a success, it frees itself. Great opportunity there to just tie somebody down and just beat the snot out of them.
And a 20-foot square is pretty big.
Hide and seek. Hide and seek. Hide and seek. Goodbye. There we go. But yeah, that's great spell. Anything else in the first level you want to talk about?
Yeah, actually. A spell we don't use very often, but still a really cool spell. It's called Snare.
Okay.
When you cast this spell, you use a cord or rope to create a circle within a 5-foot radius on a flat surface. When you finish casting, the cord or rope disappears to become a magical trap. The trap is nearly invisible and requires a successful intelligence investigation check against your spell DC to be sound. The trap triggers when a smaller, larger creature moves into the area protected by the spell. The triggering creature must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or fall prone and be hoisted into the air until it hangs upside down 3 feet above the protected surface, where it is restrained. The restrained creature can make a dexterity saving throw with disadvantage at the end of each of its turns.
Okay.
The restrained creature can make, disadvantage. Alternatively, another creature that can reach the restrained creature can use an action to make an intelligence arcana check against your spell save DC. If they succeed, the restrained effect also ends.
Well, I like it. I mean, it's a lot. It saves, but again, you're taking
But
somebody
hoisting
out
a
of...
creature up into the air like that,
Right.
where they're both prone and restrained.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm kind of picturing it like you just kind of scoops them up in a net.
Yeah, or ties around their ankles and drags them up.
Yeah, just classic like loop, and that's pretty much all it is. Just make a loop a loop of rope on the ground, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, Tiger says here, my rock gnome rogue has a tarantula-sized spider that somewhat listens um, to be without the proper animal handling. It's not efficient in battle. It's always nice to have little pets, you know, even if they don't really do much of anything.
I like handing out pets.
It's fun. I keep forgetting about my familiar. Like 6 moves into a combat, and I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, you do that a lot.
Alrighty. Anything else in level 1 you want to talk about?
I think I'm good for level 1.
Alright, let's head into level 2 then. And again, like there's really no bad spells here. Absolutely, I mean, druids are like my favorite class. They really are. Especially Circle of the Moon. Now, what I've been reading about the Circle of Wildfire, because Ira's played one before in our Spelljammer campaign, and she wants to play another one in our new campaign. Those are really nice too. There's a lot of stuff there with her wildfire spirit. That thing is just absolutely insane. But go ahead and get us started on level 2 spells. I'm going to take a short 30-second break. I'll be right back.
Just be patient with me here. I'm looking for a spell. Okay. Let's go with Wither and Bloom. Now, this spell's kind of twofold. It heals, and it also harms. So, you invoke both death and life upon a 10-foot radius sphere centered on a point within range. That range is 60 feet. Each creature of your choice in that area must make a Constitution saving throw, taking 2d6 necrotic damage on a failed save, or half as much on a successful one. Non-magical vegetation in that area withers. In addition, one creature of your choice in that area can spend and roll one of his unspent hit dice, and regain a number of hit points equal to the roll plus your spellcasting ability modifier.
It is a beautiful spell, and I've used it a couple times in our last campaign.
You have, yeah.
Yep,
I do remember
wizards,
that.
Yeah, wizards get get that as one of their spells. But yeah, no, that's a great spell. You got somebody down, they can roll one of their hit die, and add your spellcasting modifier. So hopefully, you know, if you get a fighter, he's rolling a d10 plus, you know, hopefully 5, and they can be back up with 15 hit points.
Yep.
Yeah, fantastic spell. And then you're dealing damage to the bad guy. And everything's, you know, and it levels up too, if I remember correctly. So for each level above, yeah. For each level above second, 1d6. Oh, 1d6 more damage, and they get to roll an additional hit die. That's a little cray-cray. Earthbind. Is this the spell I'm thinking of?
Might be.
Yes. Yes, this is the one I was looking for way back. It's a casting time of 1 action, a range of 300 feet. And one creature you can see within range. Yellow tendrils of energy spring from the ground, looping around the target. They must succeed on a strength saving throw, or its flying speed, if anything, is reduced to 0 for the spell's duration, which is concentration up to 1 minute. And any airborne creature affected by the spell descends at 60 feet per round until it reaches the ground or the spell ends. So if you have a dragon who's flying around, you can cast this and drag them out of the sky. So it doesn't do any damage, but it'll bring them down to ground for you.
Yep.
Very nice spell. I was looking for that spell, I forget when. Couldn't think of the name. Alright, what's next?
I'm going to go with Summon Beast.
Okay.
You call forth a bestial spirit. It manifests in an unoccupied space that you can see within range, and that range is 90 feet. When you cast the spell, choose an environment, air, land, or water. The creature resembles an animal of your choice that is native to the chosen environment, which determines certain traits in its stat block. The creature disappears when it drops to 0 hit points or when the spell ends. The creature is an ally to you and your companions. In combat, the creature shares your initiative count, but it takes its turn immediately after yours. It obeys your verbal commands with no action required by you.
Oh. Well, that's always nice.
So you can command this creature to attack a specific creature, and yeah, you don't have to take an action, bonus action, or reaction to do it.
Very nice. Yeah, because a lot of times when you're commanding something, especially if you summoned it, it requires your bonus action to tell them what to do.
Right. So let's go through its stats a little bit here. Its armor, it's a small beast, so it's not even medium-sized. Its armor class is 11 plus the level of the spell you use to cast it. Its hit points are 20 if you're air, or 30 if you're land and water, plus 5 for each spell level above second. Their speeds are 30 feet, land has a climb of 30 feet, air has a fly of 60 feet, and water has a swim of 30 feet.
Huh. Okay.
So, flyby, air only. The beast doesn't provoke opportunity attacks when it flies out of an enemy's reach.
Oh, wow.
So it can attack and just fly away.
That's kind of crazy. Well, there's a couple creatures that have that ability.
There are. It's not very common, though. So, land and water only, pack tactics.
Mm-hmm.
This is actually something, it's a rule that we play with. The beast has advantage on an attack roll against the creature if at least one of the beast's allies is within 5 feet of the creature and the ally is not incapacitated.
Yeah, pack tactics can get a little cray-cray.
It really can. And water breathing for the water only states the beast can breathe only underwater.
Okay.
So the creature has multi-attack.
Mm-hmm.
It makes a number of attacks equal to half the spell's level, rounded down. So casting it at 2nd level gives you 1 attack with the beast. 4th level, 2 attacks.
Okay.
all the way up to, I think, 4 attacks. And it's a melee weapon attack. It's your spell attack modifier to hit. It does 1d8 plus 4 plus the spell's level piercing damage.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good.
It's not bad for a 2nd level spell.
No, not at all.
And this is the first time druids get one of their summoning spells.
Yeah, and druids are great at summoning. Absolutely great at summoning. Well, again, they're all about crowd control, and
Exactly.
what better way to control a crowd than to create a crowd. Let's see here. We're talking 2nd level here. I mean, they get lesser restoration, so if you don't have a cleric in the group, you still have somebody there. They're really good at healing, too. Healing spirit. You call forth the nature spirit to soothe the wounded. The intangible spirit appears in a space that has 5-foot cube you can see within range. The spirit looks like a transparent beast or fae, your choice, until the spell ends. Whenever you or a creature you can see moves into the spirit space for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there, you can cause the spirit to restore 1d6 hit points to the creature. No action required. The spirit can't heal constructs or undead. As a bonus action on your turn, you can move the spirit up to 30 feet to a space you can see. The spirit can heal a number of times equal to 1 plus your spellcasting ability modifier. After the healing number of times, the spirit disappears. And of course, if you upcast this, it's 1d6 for each slot above 2nd. So, not bad. Something to keep people back on their feet. And doesn't require any action to actually use other than when you first cast the spell.
Right. You know when this would be extremely useful?
Enlighten me.
This would be extremely useful if your barbarian is at about a quarter hit points.
Uh-huh.
And is going toe-to-toe with the big bad. Because when you cast this spell on the same ground that your barbarian is occupying, if he goes down in the next round, he'll get up every round thereafter.
Right.
He literally cannot be knocked out of the fight.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, until you deal, that X amount of healing points, but nothing to stop you from just recasting the spell.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
Alrighty. Yeah. I mean, they have a lot of utility. And then you top their wild shape off on top of all this, and it's just crazy.
Yeah. So I've never heard of this one before, and I just read it. It's called Dust Devil.
Okay.
Here's a question for you.
Okay.
As your wizard that you just played, that spectral dog that you summon,
yes.
Mordenkainen and Faithful Hound, is that a concentration spell?
No. No, that's the beautiful
isn't.
thing. No, that's the beautiful thing about it. It is not a concentration spell.
Never mind then. You'll see why I asked in a minute.
Okay.
Choose an unoccupied space, an unoccupied 5-foot cube in the air that you can see within range. An elemental force that resembles a dust devil appears in the cube and lasts for the spell's duration. Its concentration up to 1 minute.
Oh.
Any creature that ends its turn within 5 feet of the dust devil must make a strength saving throw. On a failed save, the creature takes 1d8 bludgeoning damage and is pushed 10 feet away. On a successful save, the creature takes half as much damage and isn't pushed. As a bonus action, you can move the dust devil up to 30 feet in any direction. If the dust devil moves over sand, dust, loose dirt, or small gravel, it sucks up the material and forms a 10-foot radius cloud of debris around itself.
Ooh.
That lasts until the start of your next turn. The cloud heavily obscures its area.
Interesting. All right.
So you cast the spell, and then as a bonus action, you can move it near a creature that you want to take the damage, or creatures.
Yeah, very nice.
So it's essentially, for a bonus action, it's free 1d8 damage for 10
Right.
rounds.
Yeah, totally.
But that was the only other second level spell that really stood out to me. It sounded cool. I wanted to check it out.
Yeah. No, I can definitely... Yeah, that's pretty cool. Alrighty. Let's see here. Second level spells. I mean, yeah, they do overlap with a lot of different classes, which is fine.
I mean, they do have the uniqueness of Moonbeam.
Right, that's a good spell.
That's not a bad one. It's basically damage over time. You cast it once, it deals 2d10 radiant damage in a 5-foot, 40-foot tall cylinder.
Right.
And you can do this damage every round that you concentrate on it.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, shape changers, because it's moonlight, have disadvantage on the save. And they revert to their true form.
Oh. Okay.
So, not a bad spell for continual damage every round.
No. No, not at all. And anytime you can have guaranteed damage is a good thing. Except for when the bad guy's using it. Alrighty. Give me 1 second here. Are you here? Are you friendly? How old are you? Where are you? Are you here? Alright, so second level, I think we got through those pretty good. Let's head over to third level now.
Level.
Summon Fae. I mean, that's a great spell. You call forth a Fae spirit and manifest an unoccupied space you can see within range. The corporeal form chooses a mood, fuming, mistful, or tricksty. The creature resembles a Fae creature of your choice, marked by the chosen mood, which is determined by one of the traits of its stat block. The creature disappears when it drops to hero points, or when the spell ends. It's a concentration for 1 hour. Yeah, just overall a very nice spell. And of course, you know, the creature has a pretty good stat block. They can do some damage. Let's see here. They get a movement speed of 40 feet. They can magically teleport because they got phase step. Multi-attack. All kinds of stuff.
Bonus actions are where they really shine.
Yep.
I really like Aura of Vitality.
All right. Tell us about it.
It's a very simple spell. Healing energy radiates from you in an aura with a 30-foot radius. Until the spell ends, the aura moves with you, centered on you. You can use a bonus action to cause one creature in the aura, including yourself, to regain 2d6 hit points. And its concentration up to 1 minute.
Okay.
So once again, staying within 30 feet of whoever is tanking the big bad will bring them up with 2d6 hit points so long as you concentrate on this spell.
Oh, okay.
That's what I like it for. It's not a lot of health, but it'll bring up the unconscious every time you're within 30 feet of it.
Yeah, I mean, keeping people on their feet's always a good thing. So, we talked about that. Let's see here. Wait, we're still on... We're on 3rd level, right? Yeah.
Freedom of the Waves is pretty cool.
Okay, that's a new one.
That's a new one.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's from the Tal'Dorei campaign setting.
Okay.
And I think that was Critical Role's campaign setting.
Ah.
Cool spell, though. Really cool spell.
Enlighten us.
You conjure a deluge of seawater in a 15-foot radius, 10-foot tall cylinder centered on a point within range. So, already it's a 15-foot radius. That's outstanding.
Mm-hmm.
This water takes the form of a tidal wave, a whirlpool, a waterspout, or another form of your choice.
Okay.
Each creature in the area must succeed on a strength saving throw against your spell save DC, or take 2d8 bludgeoning damage and fall prone. You can choose a number of creatures equal to your spellcasting modifier to automatically succeed on this saving throw.
Oh.
If you are within the spell's area, as part of the action you use to cast the spell, you can vanish into the deluge and teleport to an unoccupied space that you can see within the spell's area.
Oh, okay. Lot of stuff going on with that spell.
Yes.
Alright, pardon me, I'm just...
Of course, we have the classics. We have Call Lightning.
Call Lightning. I love this spell. Absolutely terrific spell.
It really is. It's 3d10 damage every round that you concentrate on it. I didn't realize that it was each creature within 5 feet of the point that you hit. I thought it was just one creature.
Yeah, no, it's everybody within the lightning strike, which is a great area effect. All that kind of stuff. But yeah, definitely one we've used many times in our campaigns. Let's see here. Elemental weapon. You know, you're talking about getting in there and, you know, doing some damage here. So a non-magical weapon you touch becomes a magical weapon. Choose one of the following damage types, and of course it's your elemental stuff: acid, cold, fire, lightning, thunder. Does a +1 bonus to attack and damage. 1d4 extra damage. Or, I'm sorry, +1 to attack rolls, and 1d4 damage of the chosen type when you hit. When you cast this using a slot of 5th or 6th level, the bonus attack roll increases to +2, and the extra damage is 2d4. 7th level or higher, the bonus is +3, and then increases to 3d4. So I like that. That's a good spell.
I like it because you can cast this on your staff.
Mm-hmm.
And then cast Shillelagh as your bonus action.
Oh. Ooh.
So if you have to be in melee combat, this is outstanding.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not standing there just going, oh, what am I going to do now? You know. Meld into stone. Great spell. Protection from energy. Revivify. I mean...
We did talk about that one. Yep. That's just... It's the poor man's resurrection, but it works.
Speak with plants. Wall of water. Water breathing. Water walk. Again, they don't have bad spells. Conjure animals. I mean, this is great. You can summon 1 beast, the challenge rating 2. 2 beasts, the challenge rating 1. 4 beasts of challenge rating 1/2 or lower. And 8 of challenge rating 1/4 or lower.
I feel like this is a spell that Tiger might really like.
That who?
In our chat.
I'm sorry, who?
Siberian Tiger.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm losing it, you know? You don't use the brain, you lose it.
Much vacation.
It is, way too much. But that's okay. I'll enjoy my last 2 days. No, this is great. I mean, 2 beasts, the challenge rating 1 or lower. You can summon 2 giant spiders. That is absolutely fantastic. You know, a giant spider has the ability to web their target. So, you know, you're using the bad guy's full action to get out of the webbing. And now you have 2 chances to actually entangle them.
Yep.
Beautiful. Or one entangles and the other bites, because they do a ton of poison damage. A little bit of piercing, but mostly poisoning. They also have the ability to stun, which is terrific. You know, they can lay down webbing behind them, and if anybody steps on that webbing, then they know where they are.
You guys use this to great effect in one campaign.
It's one of those things, like, if you're playing a druid and you have the ability to transform into a CR1 creature, which eventually they all have the ability. It's just, it takes a little while for if you're not Circle of the Moon. It is a fantastic creature to use. And they can be very effective. And now that you can summon 2 of them, I mean, even one CR2 creature is a lot. You know, but anytime you have any type of friends to help you out is always, I don't know, druids are just great. And you know I love playing characters that have a lot of a lot of sidekicks, I'll call them. You know, Necromancer with his zombies, Druid with all of its creatures. I just think it's a lot of fun. But maybe that's just me. So yeah, I mean, that's just overall great spell. Always have liked it. But yeah, they have... Alright, so that's level 3. Kind of talked about those. Level 4 spells.
I know which one you're going to go for first.
Well, I was going to say Wall of Fire, which is a great spell.
Oh, not the one I thought you'd go for first.
You're talking about Conjure Minor Elementals.
Yes.
Conjure Minor Elementals is a very good spell. I primarily use it to summon my absolute favorite elemental, or minor elemental, and they're only a quarter CR. They're not even like that high in rating, but methods. Well, it depends. You have the quarter CR and the 1/8 CR methods. Your mud methods, steam methods, things like that are your quarters, so you're getting 8 of those. And they're not so much that they do a lot of damage. Like, your mud methods are great because if they fail, they make a breath attack. If you fail the I think it's a dex save, then the creature that you targeted is now basically stuck. That's just kind of all there is to it. They're stuck in the mud. They're kind of, I always imagine them being like cocooned. And they gotta roll a check to get out of it. You know, again, you're taking actions away from the big bad or whatever creatures you're fighting, and this game is all about the action economy. It really is. The more times you can go and the bad guy doesn't, all the better. You know, there's a reason why they give higher level characters legendary actions. It's to equalize the action economy. But no, you could summon all kinds of stuff with that. You're not just stuck with whatchamacallit. You're not just stuck with methods. You can summon I mean, just look up Minor Elementals 5e. There's a ton of stuff there. And you can do all the way up to 1 elemental of a challenge rating to 2. 2 element, it's just like the summon animals. You know, 2 of 1, 4 of 1/2, or 8 of 1/4. Now they are concentration, so you have to maintain that concentration, but hopefully your cleric is casting Sanctuary on you, so anything who tries to attack you is going to be having to make that wisdom save and hopefully failing. That way you can maintain concentration. And because it's concentration, you can only cast it once. You can't cast multiple concentration spells. And you have to be very wary of letting players do just that. Whatchamacallit, casting multiple concentration spells. Because that can get very overpowered very quickly. Let's see here. So yeah, that's definitely one of my bigger picks. There is Conjured Minor Elementals. Absolutely terrific spell. You can do a lot of stuff with it.
You can do even more when you upcast it.
Oh, that's right. You double the amount.
Or triple if you use an 8th level slot.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
That's 24
insane.
method.
Exactly.
24 methods.
That's 24 little hand grenades.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely insane.
24d6 is 24d6.
All right. What else? What spells do you like?
Let me go back here.
And it's funny you mentioned throw the gnome into the air, Tiger. One of the things they, again, Arrow and Little Pooper kind of thought of was, well, this is especially when they got into higher levels, when Arrow was able to turn into things such as a war rhino or a war elephant, to throw the gnome above the bad guy and have her transform while in midair and fall onto the bad guy. So yeah, that is one thing that they thought of that I thought was pretty clever.
Oh, yeah.
I've taught them well. Alrighty, have you picked out a spell?
I'm gonna go with Polymorph.
Ooh, very nice.
This spell destroyed me in our Spelljammer campaign. Because I failed every time it was cast.
It's one of those spells that if you can get it off, it is going to be absolutely epic. There's no maybe about it. And I don't know if we've talked about Polymorph in the past before. But it's definitely worth talking about if we haven't. Or even if we have. Oops, I think we lost you again.
What's that?
Oh, I thought we lost you for a second.
Oh no, I'm still here.
Okay.
So let's talk about Polymorph. This spell transforms a creature that you can see within range into a new form. An unwilling creature must make a wisdom saving throw to avoid the effect. A shape changer automatically succeeds on this saving throw.
Oh,
The transfer.
okay.
I know, I didn't know that either.
Interesting.
The transformation lasts for the duration, its concentration up to 1 hour, or until the target drops to 0 hit points or dies. The new form can be any beast whose challenge rating is equal to or less than the target's.
Are you friendly?
The target's game statistics, including mental ability scores, are replaced by the statistics of the chosen beast. It retains its alignment and personality. The target assumes the hit points of its new form. When it reverts to its normal form, the creature returns to the number of hit points it had before it transformed.
Okay.
If it reverts as a result of dropping to 0 hit points, any excess damage carries over into its normal form. So, very similar to Wild Shape. The creature is limited in the actions it can perform by the nature of its new form, and it can't speak, cast spells, or take any other action that requires hands or speech.
Oh.
The target's gear melts into the new form. The creature can't activate, use, wield, or otherwise benefit from any of its equipment.
Okay.
That's it?
Well, yeah, because the equipment melds into the creature. So that's...
Correct. It was devastating for me when all of you polymorphed Ublave into a frog.
Yeah, that was definitely one of the funner parts of the campaign.
I'd agree. There were a lot of great moments in that campaign.
There really was. There really, really was. Let's see here. We got, oh, Giant Insect. Great spell. It's concentration up to 10 minutes, range of 30 feet. You transform up to 10 centipedes, 3 spiders, 5 wasps, or 1 scorpion within range into a giant variant of their natural form for the duration. A centipede becomes a giant centipede. Each creature obeys your verbal commands in combat, and they act on your turn each round. The DM has the statistics. Creature remains in its giant form for the duration until it drops to 0 hit points or until you use an action to dismiss the effects. Absolutely great. Now you're getting, 3 giant spiders. You're getting the centipedes, which are fantastic creatures as well. Don't use them very much, because honestly the spiders are just too good.
Yeah, they really are.
But yeah, just carry like the one gnome that I had, or the one druid. Yeah, I always play a gnome when I play a druid. I just love the idea of this little creature turning into a giant giant animal.
Welcome back. There's some jobs ready for you.
But no, it's a great spell. You have a little jar of bugs you carry on you, and they just kind of, in the combat, take the lid off the jar, dump the spiders or the centipedes or the scorpion out, and cast the spell on it. Yeah. But again, it's a concentration spell, so you're kind of having to pick and choose what you want to do. But with 3 giant spiders, you can tie down a very large area. Hallucinatory... can't speak. The fake terrain, we'll call it. Casting time 10 minutes, range of 300 feet, duration for 24 hours. This is a non-concentration spell. You make a natural terrain in a 150-foot cube in range, look, sound, and smell like some other natural terrain. Thus, open fields or a road can be made to resemble a swamp, a hill, or a crevasse, or some other difficult, impassable terrain. A pond can be made to seem like a grassy meadow, a precipice like a gentle slope, or a rock-strewn gully like a wide, smooth road. Manufactured structures, equipment, and creatures when the areas aren't changed in appearance. The tactical characteristics of the terrain is unchanged, so the creature entering the area are likely to see through the illusion if the difference isn't obvious by touch. A creature carefully examining the illusion can attempt an intelligence investigation check against your spell save DC to disbelieve it. A creature who discerns the illusion for what it is sees through the image is superposed on the terrain. So, yeah, you want to have somebody walk into a crevasse? Oh, that's just a gentle little hill. You can definitely trek that.
Right.
Oh, okay, well, there's a swamp over there. I'm going to make that look like beautiful little terrain. And when they go to step into it, sploosh, off they go. So, definitely useful. Again, we're talking crowd control. Let's see. Talked about polymorph. Anything else? There's no bad spells here.
There aren't any bad spells there.
Any others that you want to talk about for the 4th level?
We've arrived. Check the equipment and get set up before investigating.
Just now realizing just how awesome a druidic summoner build would be.
Investigate it.
Oh, they are. They're absolutely fantastic. You're constantly bringing things to the battle. I don't know about you, but if I had to fight, 3 grizzly bears? There are 3 black bears. I'm going to concentrate on the bears before I concentrate on the people. Especially if those bears are standing right next to me.
Yes.
You know, you have... Oh, my word. I'm trying to... See, the problem is there's no way... That's not true. You could do a ring of spell storing. Give one to one of your party members. And now... all of a sudden... you can start summoning... multiple... Ooh, that's a little broken, I think.
That is a lot broken.
Somebody has summon element, you know, minor, even, well, next, I think next level you get summon elementals.
Elementals, yes. You get summon elemental at this level.
At 4th level?
Yep.
Oh, wow. That's, yeah, no, summon elemental is a great spell as well. You know, you're summoning a fire, water, or earth elemental. And they can do a lot of damage.
Oh, yeah, they can.
Yeah, they can do a lot of damage. You know, your fire one is... yeah. Sorry, completely lost my train of thought there. I didn't know that was a 4th level spell. I thought that was higher. Alright, so... anything else in the 4th level?
I don't see anything.
Okay. 5th level... oh, well, here's Conjure Elemental.
It was on the 4th level page as well.
Yeah, that's weird. That has to be an error. Only problem with Wiki. Oh, no. 4th level is Summon Elemental. So you are
this is Conjure Elemental.
Yeah, you're summoning one individual elemental.
Right, with the challenge rating of 5 or lower.
Right, Conjure Elemental's kind of like everything else. Oh no, this is, yeah. You call forth an elemental servant. Okay. 5th level here. Geese is a very underused spell. You place the magical command on a creature you can see within range, forcing it to carry out some service or refrain from some action, of course, or course of activity as you decide. If the creature can understand you, it must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or become charmed by you for the duration. While the creature is charmed by you, it takes 5d10 psychic damage each time it acts in a manner directly counter to your instructions, but no more than once each day. A creature that can't understand you is unaffected by the spell. You can issue any command you choose, short of an activity that results in certain death. Should you issue a suicidal command, the spell ends. You end the spell early by using an action to dismiss it. A remove curse, greater restoration, or a wish spell also ends it. At higher level, when you cast the spell using a slot of 7th level or 8th, the duration is 1 year. When you cast the spell using a spell slot of 9th level, the spell lasts until the end is ended by one of the spells mentioned above. So basically, you can entrap the big bad and say, don't attack us.
Yeah,
And
and whether or not it tries to attack you, it's going to take that.
Yeah, now it
That
only takes it
damage.
once per day. So maybe it's not the greatest of deterrent. You know, so maybe not use it on the big bad. However, on some minions, or even, you know, some type of, well, I guess it would have to speak common. But yeah, if you can get something to understand you, you you use it on a security guard to gain access to a castle. Like, let us through. And if he doesn't let you through, then he takes the damage. And all he remembers is he gets the worst headache of his entire life. That's funny. I could... Yeah, that's one of those spells you can have fun with.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's one of those little playful spells. I really like it. And then to be able, you know, to keep that going for up to a year, or infinitely if you cast it higher, a little crazy. All right. Anything there on that list that you're liking?
Yeah, summon Draconic Spirit.
Ooh.
You call forth the Draconic Spirit. It manifests in an unoccupied space that you can see within range. This
Okay.
corporal form uses the Draconic Spirit stat block. When you cast this spell, choose a family of dragon: chromatic, gem, or metallic. The creature resembles a dragon of the chosen family, which determines certain traits in its stat block. The creature disappears when it drops to 0 hit points or when the spell ends. The creature is an ally to you and your companions.
Mm-hmm.
In combat, the creature shares your initiative count, but it takes its turn immediately after yours. It obeys your verbal commands, no action required.
Okay.
So, its armor class is 14 plus the level of the spell, so it would have an AC of 19.
Ooh.
It has 50 hit points plus 10 for each level of the spell above 5th. It has a speed of 30 feet, a fly speed of 80 feet, and a swim speed of 30 feet.
Okay.
Damage resistances. Chromatic and metallic dragons only. They're resistant to acid, cold, fire, lightning, and poison.
Hmm.
For the gem dragons, they're resistant to force, necrotic, psychic, radiant, and thunder.
Okay.
They're immune to being charmed, frightened, or poisoned.
Typical for a dragon.
Yes. They have blind sight out to 30 feet,
Okay.
dark vision of 60 feet, and a passive perception of 12.
Nice. So you
So
basically
shared
have your own little dragon companion.
Yes. Yeah, up to 1 hour.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
Mhm.
Always like, well, a dragon. I mean, that's a hell of a companion. All right, and that was summon draconic spirit, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Oh, they have greater restoration, mass cure wounds, planar binding, scrying. I didn't know they had scrying. Tree stride's an interesting one. You gain the ability to enter a tree and move from inside to the inside of another tree of the same kind within 500 feet. Both trees must be living and at least the same size as you. You must use 5 feet of movement to enter a tree. You instantly know the location of all other trees in the same kind within 500 feet. And as part of the move, used to enter the tree can either pass into one of those trees or step out of the tree that you're in. You appear in a spot of your choice within 5 feet of the destination tree, using another 5 feet of movement. If you have no movement left, you appear within 5 feet of the tree you entered. You can use this transportation ability once per round. For the duration, you must end each turn outside of a tree. So it's concentration for 1 minute. So you can just kind of run around. You can just kind of run around the combat area. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly
Darting from tree to tree. I mean, I like it. You know, they do have a lot of spells that are not concentration. And if you're in a heavily wooded area, this is a fantastic. You can... And it's a movement. So it's not like it's even... It's not costing you a bonus action. It's not costing you an action to move. You can get into a tree, teleport over, and cast the spell. You know, and then go, and then you're fine until your next round, and then you can move again. It's a great movement spell.
Yeah, I didn't realize they had that. I thought it was ranger only.
Yeah, it's not a bad spell at all. And I can definitely see why it's a 5th level spell. They also get like Cone of Cold, which is a great spell. Insect Plague. This is a concentration spell, unfortunately. So Swarming, Biting, Locusts fill a 20-foot radius, 20-foot sphere radius, centered on a point you choose within range. The spear spreads around corners. The sphere remains for the duration and is lightly obscured. The area is difficult terrain. When the area appears, each creature within must make a Constitution saving throw. A creature takes 4d10 piercing damage on a failed, half as much damage on a successful, and a creature must also make the saving throw when it enters the spell area for the first time on a turn or ends its turn there. And of course, for each slot above, you're gaining an additional d10. Not bad.
Oh no.
Not bad at all. Anything else there you like?
Not particularly. I think we might be ready to move on.
All right, so we got 6th level. Oh, Windwalk. Interesting. You and up to 10 willing creatures you can see within range assume a gaseous form for the duration, appearing as wisps of clouds. While in this cloud form, a creature has a flying speed of 300 feet and has resistance to damage from non-magical weapons. The only action a creature can take in this form is the dash action, or revert to its normal form. Reverting takes 1 minute, during which time a creature is incapacitated and can't move. Until the spell ends, a creature can revert to cloud form, which also requires a 1 minute transformation. If a creature in this cloud form and flying when the effect ends, the creature descends 60 feet per round for 1 minute until it lands, which it does safely. If it can't land after 1 minute, the creature falls the remaining distance.
That's pretty cool.
Not a bad spell.
No.
Not a bad spell at all. Wasn't what I thought it was going to be, but that's, I could definitely see the usefulness of that. You know what I mean? There are definitely times where that would be useful. Alrighty, anything there you liking?
6th level?
Yeah.
Yeah, Bones of the Earth.
Okay.
This is in Xanathar's Guide to Everything. So
Okay.
you cause up to 6 pillars of stone to burst from places on the ground that you can see within range. It's a 120-foot range.
Okay.
Each pillar is a cylinder that has a diameter of 5 feet and a height of up to 30 feet. The ground where a pillar appears must be wide enough for its diameter, and you can target ground under a creature if that creature is medium or smaller. Each pillar has an AC of 5 at 30 hit points. When reduced to 0 hit points, a pillar crumbles into rubble, which creates an area of difficult terrain with a 10-foot radius. The rubble lasts until cleared.
Okay.
If a pillar is created under a creature, that creature must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or be lifted by the pillar. A creature can choose to fail the save.
Huh.
If a pillar is prevented from reaching its full height because of a ceiling or other obstacle, a creature on the pillar takes 66 bludgeoning damage and is restrained, pinched between the pillar and the obstacle.
What?
The restrained creature can use an action to make a strength or dexterity check, the creature's choice, against the spell's saving throw DC. On a success, the creature is no longer restrained and must either move off the pillar or fall off it.
That's crazy.
Isn't it, though?
So if you're on top of this thing, you can get smushed.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it. That is hysterical.
I thought it was pretty awesome.
That is absolutely hysterical. Getting smushed by a pillar.
There's also Conjure Fey.
Great spell.
It is a great spell. You summon a Fey creature of challenge rating 6 or lower, or a Fey spirit that takes the form of a beast of challenge rating 6 or lower. It appears in an unoccupied space that you can see within range, and that's 90 feet.
Mm-hmm.
The Fey creature disappears when it drops to 0 hit points, or when the spell ends. The Fey creature is friendly to you and your companions for the duration. Roll initiative for the creature, which has its own turns. It obeys any verbal commands that you issue to it, no action required by you, as long as they don't violate its alignment. If you don't
Okay.
issue any commands to the Fey creature, it defends itself from hostile creatures but otherwise takes no actions. If your concentration is broken, the Fey creature doesn't disappear. Instead, you lose control of the Fey creature. It becomes hostile towards you and your companions, and it might attack.
Hmm.
An uncontrolled Fey creature can't be dismissed by you, and it disappears 1 hour after you summoned it. The DM has the Fey creature statistics.
Okay.
Challenge rating 6 is pretty significant.
Yeah, that's a pretty good size. That's a pretty good size creature. I mean, that's depending upon the size of your party, that can take out a very low level party.
Yes. Yes, it could.
And then when you're starting to summon stuff like that, they have their own spells, like polymorph. Okay. But yeah, the summoning spells are real heavy with druids. Absolutely fantastic.
Welcome back. I've prepared some jobs for you.
Let's see here. We talked about Mass Cure Wounds, Reincarnate. So it's not true Reincarnate, or but yeah, I mean, that Reincarnate can definitely bring somebody back if they want to still play their character. Transmute Rock. That's a pretty good spell there. We leveled up here. Look for the ding, love the ding, need the ding. All right. So you choose an area of stone or mud that you can see within, that fits within a 40-foot cube and is within range. You choose one of the following effects. Transmute rock to mud. Non-magical rock of any sort in the area becomes an equal volume of thick and flowing mud that remains for the spell's duration. If you cast the spell in an area or ground, it becomes muddy enough that the creature can sink into it. Each foot a creature moves through the mud costs 4 feet of movement, and any creature on the ground when you cast the spell must make a strength saving throw. The creature must also make the save the first time it enters the area, or on a turn, or ends its turn. On a failed save, the creature sinks into the mud and is restrained, though it can use an action to end the restrained condition on itself by pulling itself free of the mud. If you cast the spell on a ceiling, the mud falls. Any creature under the mud when it falls makes a dexterity saving throw. A creature takes 4d8 bludgeoning damage on a failed save, or half as much damage on a successful one. Alright, you're fighting on a cliff face. You could turn part of the cliff in the mud, and swoosh. There you go. You just threw somebody off a cliff. Stone path. You're in a dungeon. You're going through. It's stone walls, stone floor. You can cast this and turn the floor into a mud pit. You know, with dark vision, it would probably be pretty hard to tell the difference between solid rock and mud. And then the other part of this is transmute mud to rock. Non-magical mud or quicksand in the area, no more than 10 feet deep, transforms into soft stone for the spell's duration. Any creature in the mud when it transforms must make a dexterity saving throw. On a failed save, a creature becomes restrained by the rock. The restrained creature can use an action to try to break free by succeeding on a strength check, DC 20, or dealing 25 damage to the rock around it. On a successful save, the creature is shunted safely to the surface to an unoccupied space. Not bad. Not bad at all. All right, well, let's go ahead and jump into 6th level spells. We need to kind of get us. It's almost a quarter after 8, and we need to kind of get through these here. 8 6th level, Conjure Fey.
Oh, we just did 6th level.
Oh, we did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I guess I went back to 5th level there. Wall of Thorns is a good one. So 7th level. Okay. Kind of going back into the spell you went over with Summon Draconic Spirit. This one here is Draconic Transformation. You're basically turning yourself into a dragon.
This is a really cool spell.
Plane Shift. You can jump planes. Regenerate. Great spell. Here, oh, I didn't realize that was that high of a level. Reverse Gravity.
I've used that on you guys a couple times.
Yep. You might actually know that if you watched the D&D movie. They used that in the D&D movie. 8th level spells. Control Weather. Feeble Mind. Oh my, why don't you talk about Feeble Mind? I know you love that spell.
Oh, it's one of my absolute favorites. Feeble Mind is a spell that requires an intelligence saving throw. Not a very common saving throw. You blast the mind of a creature that you can see within range, attempting to shatter its intellect and personality. The target takes 46 psychic damage and must make an intelligence saving throw. On a failed save, the creature's intelligence and charisma score become 1. The creature can't cast spells, activate magic items, understand language, or communicate in any intelligible way. The creature can, however, identify its friends, follow them, and even protect them. This is why the spell is so nasty. At the end of every 30 days, the creature can repeat its saving throw against this spell.
30 days. We've listed a lot of spells that you dislike. Let me just say that this is a spell that I personally despise. It is absolutely overpowered. Absolutely overpowered, but it is an incredibly effective spell if they fail to save.
Right.
Now, is there any... I know on some of these types of spells, is there anything there saying that if they pass the save, you can't use it on them for like another 24 hours? Sorry, we lost you for a second there.
Oh, sorry, I said no. As soon as the spell ends, someone could immediately cast it on you again.
Okay.
I mean, it can be ended with a few spells.
Right. Yeah, Greater Restoration, Wish, things of that nature.
Yep.
No, I know there's ways to end it. It's just so devastating whenever you use it. It really is.
I play to the intelligence of my monsters.
Yes. Yes. Oh, it is just absolutely... I mean, mostly because... Mostly because, again, it's that one intelligence score thing. It just... You can't cast spells, you're not... I mean, if you're a fighter, no big deal. You know what I mean?
Defend your friends, which means you'll fight.
What was that?
Oh, I said if you're a fighter, you'll defend your friends, which means you'll actually do something in combat.
Right. But like your wizards, your sorcerers, even your druids, I mean, forget it. Like there's no doing anything once, once they're under the effect of the spell. Oh, it is such a devastating spell. Alrighty, we got about 10 minutes here. So, let's go ahead and get into the big jobs.
Ninth level?
9th level. True Resurrection. You are bringing them back. You're bringing them back.
Yeah, and it's over extended periods of time, correct?
I believe it only has a 1-hour casting time.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm fairly certain that only has a 1-hour cast, but I could be wrong. Oh, we can read the spell description.
Wow, 200 years.
What's this? Oh, they could be dead up to 200 years?
Yes.
That's a little crazy. Alrighty. What's another one they get here?
Shape change, which is so broken.
What's this?
Shape change.
Shape change, yeah. That's the one where you're basically polymorphing multiple creatures, right?
No.
No?
No. So you assume the form of a different creature for the duration. Its concentration up to 1 hour.
Okay.
This is why it's broken. The new form can be any creature with a challenge rating equal to your level or lower.
Ooh. Oh. What? That's crazy. 9th level spells. That's what, level 17, level 18?
Yeah.
So you're telling me I could transform to something that's CR 18?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
That's crazy. Is it creature? Is it beast? What does it say?
It just can't be a construct or undead.
Oh my god. So everything's on the table.
Just about. You don't have any class levels when you transform, and you don't have the spellcasting trait.
Well, that's fine. But that is insane. Massively overpowered. That is just kind of massively overpowered. There's a ton of stuff you could... I mean, holy smokes. A rust
Absolutely.
monster.
broken.
Well, you don't get the traits you said, right?
Oh no, you get the traits. You don't get the spellcasting ability.
Dude, you can transform into a rust monster.
Yeah.
Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Dragons, all kinds of stuff. Oh my word.
Yeah.
Oh. Wow.
I know. I couldn't quite get over that one when I read it.
Alrighty. Well, that's. I mean, you combine. See, the really cool thing about a druid is you can use your wild shape and still maintain concentration on the spell.
Yep.
And that is absolutely unreal. That is absolutely unreal. So you can summon a bunch of minions and then have them fight for you or with you while you're doing your thing with doing your thing as an animal. Either fly. Ooh, that's what you could do. You can, especially at higher levels when you finally get a flying speed. Oh my word, I just realized. Holy smokes. You can, whatchamacallit, you can summon a bunch of elementals, you can summon a bunch of creatures, and then turn into a flying creature and fly away. Can't hit you if you're not there. You know what I mean? Especially if they don't have a ranged attack. So now the cool thing is too with a druid, once you reach level 20, you get unlimited use of your wild shape. Which is awesome. So, alrighty. Anything else on druids that you want to talk about? Mr. Faust? Did we lose you again? I think we kind of lost Mr. Faust there. Alrighty. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff with them. Love the class. Always jealous of people who get to play them. But yeah, check them out. They got a lot of different circles. They get some great spells. Again, there's not any single spell that I look at and go, that's not really that great of a spell. Alrighty, well, it is almost 8:30, and I know we need to wrap up here.
Welcome back. I've got some jobs
It was a
ready for you.
Yuri? I thought I had it circled. Well, that's what I get for yakking instead of paying attention. Oh well. At least we didn't die this time. Alrighty, folks. Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and end it here. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Always a pleasure to have you. Don't forget to leave a like. Comment down below anything you want us to talk about in the future for 5e. I'm thinking next week, kind of taking a break from spells and talking about our last campaign. I had a lot of fun with it. I know Mr. Faust had a lot of fun with it. There's a lot of stuff that kind of happened, and just kind of taking a break from the spells. Just do something a little different. So if you're interested in doing that, enjoying the spells. I mean, I like the spells too. Don't get me wrong. And if you want us to keep doing the spells, we can do that. But yeah, don't forget to leave that like, comment, and let what you want to do. If you want to listen, if you want to hear about the campaign, if you want us to go over spells, let me know. I'm here to do your bidding. So, if you can hear me, Mr. Faust, thank you so much for joining. You guys have a wonderful evening. If you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and do so now. If you already have, then you know I do appreciate each and every one of you. But I need you to do 3 little things for me. Tell your neighbors, tell your friends, and shout it from the rooftops. Like, comment, and subscribe to Blast338. Have a great time, and we'll see you Thursday. Thursday's our next live stream. Looking forward to that. That's going to be a lot of fun. Of course, that's when we play with everybody. And, maybe complete that weekly challenge. I'm actually looking forward to that. It looks like a lot of fun. It's on Tanglewood, and it's going back to old Phasmo. So, interested to see what that's all about. But anyways, look out for the Rainbow Six Siege videos that are coming out. We got one tomorrow morning, one Wednesday morning, and of course Thursday we're going to have our weekly challenge doing the first hunt, and then we'll probably end up finishing it during the live stream. So until then, have a great time. Peace.